So now you've got those building blocks of who, what, where, when, why, how. And what you need to do now, of course, is start putting the story together. So by the time you've interviewed people and answered those questions, you should have in your mind what the angle of the story is. Now, it can be that there are a couple of different angles, but you choose the strongest angle. Okay. Now, once you've got that, the next stage is to look at writing what we call the intro, sometimes called the lead. And that is basically the first paragraph of the story. And that has to encapsulate everything that the story is about. Now, the intro, it can be as short as one sentence. Okay, it can be, if it's strong enough, it can be. Usually it's a short, succinct, to the point paragraph, probably no more than about 25 words. The other thing about the intro is this: there are several different types, or three main types. There's the ordinary explanatory intro. So this would be quite straightforward. It would say something along the lines of, at midnight last night in Newtown, there was an accident, one person was killed. Okay, so that's a fairly straightforward, factual-based intro. You can also have question intros. So in other words, the whole intro is composed of a question. What happened last night at Newtown when two buses collided? Okay, so that would be an example of that. Now, we don't tend to use question intros too much because our job's to inform people, not to ask them questions. But it can sometimes be quite effective. Now, the third kind of intro is the quote intro. Now, the whole intro is a quote. So if somebody, for example, let's take that crash example again, the police chief says, "It's absolutely sickening how many people are driving so fast on wet roads and causing so many accidents. It's criminal." Now, that's a good, strong quote. So you may use that as your intro, and that's the whole intro, okay? But be careful with quotes. Don't ever use quotes unless they're powerful, because it's just pointless. If the policeman had said, for example, "Well, we're looking into this, we're going to examine why this crash happened," that's not a strong quote. You can use that quote later, we'll talk about that in a minute, but not as an intro. So those are three basic types of intro: the explanatory intro, the question intro, and the quote intro.